The Cruel King and the Great Hero is a role-playing game developed by Nippon Ichi Software. If the game looks familiar to you, it's probably because of another game, The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince, another NIS developed RPG that first released in 2019 for the West. The Cruel King and the Great Hero is a standalone game, and no knowledge of the previously mentioned title is necessary to enjoy this new release, even if there is certain references to it. The game is currently out in Japan and is set to release on March 15, 2022 for North America and on November 3rd in Europe and the rest of the world on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4. Please note that a Nintendo Switch review copy of the game was provided by NIS America. The main appeal of The Cruel King and the Great Hero to me is the way that the story is told, which is through a narrator in a storybook style. As you progress through the story, the pages of this storybook flip from a page to another. The story itself is a very simple one, but also very solid, effective, and very much a traditional medieval story. The player plays as Yu, the daughter of the great hero from the previous game. Yu lives under the wing of the Demon King himself. The Demon King is a dragon that used to be feared by many before people and monsters in town realized that despite his demonic appearance, he's a great being with a lot of care and love to give. Through Yu's journey, you will explore vast snowy landscapes, dark forests full of monsters, different dimensions, and a lot more. The game has a very fast pacing that kept me engaged from start to finish. My expectations were low in terms of story, but even though it's very simple, its relaxing premise kept me hooked for my whole playthrough. Yu and the Demon King are a great duo, and seeing them interact and react to different scenarios is the cutest thing I've ever seen in a video game. Just seeing Yu trying to break a tree that is blocking her path, but actually seeing the Demon King in the background hiding and shooting flames at the same tree to help Yu was delightful. The way that this story is told through a narrator works so well that I had a strong wish from start to finish that the game featured English voices. It's probably due to a lack of budget that this smaller NIS release was not dubbed, but I honestly wish they found a way to make it work because it's extremely well written and it will be another very positive feature from such a relaxing experience. The obvious main appeal of this game for a lot of people that are new to this team's work at NIS is the visuals. The storybook style is fantastic. Gameplay or trailers don't do this style justice. The last time that I was so blown away with a new art direction was when Square Enix unveiled HD 2D with Octopath's Traveler release in July of 2018. Not only does the game look insanely gorgeous on the TV playing docked, but it's mind-blowing in portable mode on the OLED and Nintendo Switch system as well. I found myself playing this game laying down in bed or while sitting on the couch for most of my playtime, except when I was recording gameplay. I honestly have nothing bad to say about the aesthetic of The Cruel King and the Great Hero. The character designs and monster designs are just as unique and are far from your typical low-budget RPGs designs, and they never got old for me. What's even better is the environments. The different locations in the game are exceptionally varied and well constructed to feel unique from one to another and most importantly, fun to explore. There is obstacles scattered throughout the world that requires different party members to go over. It makes exploring the older areas exciting and still feel like a new playthrough. The world feels alive, and NPCs are all over the various different areas of this game with tips to give to you to help her through her journey of becoming a great hero. The relaxing and calm tone and setting of this game is enveloped by a superb soundtrack that really made me feel like I was in this world. The themes are fitting whether you're exploring a gigantic beehive or having a relaxing conversation with a monster in the village. In terms of performance, I only played the Nintendo Switch version of the game and it's pretty much flawless. I have not experienced any bugs or issues in both docked or handheld mode. The transitions and loading times from a map to another are almost non-existent even when you are teleporting from point A to Z all across the map. Running through a map, jumping into a random encounter, and immediately run to another map after the battle ended is, strangely enough, very satisfying. The Cruel King and the Great Hero is just a very satisfying experience in every aspect. The element that surprised me the most for The Cruel King and the Great Hero is the gameplay. Looking at the style of the game, the trailers and details on the NIS site, I thought it would be a very simple role-playing game with basic features that we've been seeing in RPGs for a couple of decades, but luckily for us, it's more than that. The game is very simple at first. It's very much a traditional turn-based RPGs in terms of combat. You select your actions before every turn and the battle unfolds in a turn-by-turn basis. You have a lot of abilities that you can use, and there is a lot of variety in terms of different types of spells and attacks from a character to the other. All your characters that you will recruit through your playthrough have different strengths and weaknesses, and they are fully customizable. Surprisingly enough, you have a ton of customizable options as you progress through the game, whether it's because of which character you have on your party or the different accessories that you can equip to gain new tactics and new features. The game features a standard progression system. As you win a battle, you gain experience to make your party members level up. As you level up, you gain new skills to add more to the strategic element of this game. The difficulty in this RPG is totally fair and it's extremely easy and simple at first, but once you reach the 5-hour mark, you better know what you're doing or the game will put a stop to your no-death run very quickly. And believe me, I'm speaking with experience. In my honest opinion, I think The Cruel King and the Great Hero is as close as you can get to the perfect starting point for someone who's new to the role-playing game genre. Beginner-friendly, addictive, and very charming. Looking back on my experience with The Cruel King and the Great Hero made me realize how much I love this game. I had zero expectations for this game and it immediately became my favorite game of 2022 so far. It's with a mix of old Final Fantasy in terms of combat, older Zelda in terms of exploration, and extremely unique with its art direction that The Cruel King and the Great Hero is a game that I will look fondly upon for years to come.